Swastiastu. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my class today. Before there's something that I want to deliver to you about the religion, which is the material of one of the material in Susila, which is the belief in Atman. I believe all of you here know what is Atman is. But before we get in touch about the belief in Atman, the material that I want to deliver to you, it's better for me to introduce myself first. Okay, my name is Rico Surya Wirawan and my student number is 11 and my name is 1977 Okay, let's start about the introduction. The introduction in here, belief in Atman. I separate this section become two sections. The first section I will explain briefly about the definition of the belief in Atman. Belief in Atman in Indonesia we also call percaya dengan adanya Atman. Now, what the next question is, what is the Atman really is? Atman, based on my grasping, Atman is one of the part of God in Hinduism, also known as Ida Sang Yang Widiwasa, that stay in our body, that stay in mankind. Mankind in here, which means stay in every mankind, every individual in all over the world. So that's the brief explanation. And for the illustration, what is there any form of the Atman itself? For me, it's no. Atman is something that we can't see but stay in our body. It gave us life and like a God in ourselves. That's the explanation of the introduction belief in Atman, percaya dengan Atman, and this is the definition that you can see here. For the next section, I will explain it right now, which is about the characteristic of Atman itself. Well, okay, now we've come to the second session of my material. As I promised, I will explain about the characteristic of Atman. The characteristic of Atman, there are 13 characteristics, but actually for the last one, I didn't quite known about the last one. I just known about the 12 characteristic of Atman. Let's start to get know to each one of them. Okay, one by one. The first characteristic is Achodia. The first characteristic of Atman is Achodia. It means can't be hurted by any weapon. Jadi tidak bisa dilukai oleh senjata apapun, tak terlukai dia. Atman itu. Jadi that's for the Achodia, can't be hurt by any weapon. And for the second, Adanya, can't be burned by flame. Can't be burned by flame is tidak bisa dibakar oleh api. That's the characteristic number 2. And then for the third one is Acladia, can't be dried by wind, tidak bisa dikeringkan oleh angin. For number 4 is can't be wet by water. So it means tidak bisa dibasahi, tidak tak terbasahkan, seperti itu. For number 5 is immortal. Yes. Number 5 is Atman characteristic is immortal. Jadi dia abadi. Atman itu ya. For the 6th one is Sarvagata, exists everywhere. As I mentioned before, Atman exists in every individual, not just stay in one place and then not going anywhere. No, it stay in one place but exists everywhere. That's the brief explanation on the 6 characteristic of Atman. And for the 7 is Stanu. Stanu is stay in one place that I mentioned before, stay in one body but exists everywhere. That's the also the connect explanation with the prior characteristic, which is Sapagata. And for the 8th one is Achala, it's not moving, just stay in our body and not moving around like go back to our mind and then to our hand. No, just stay in our heart and always be there, not moving around. Okay. That's for the 8 one, and for the 9 one is Sanatana, stay the same, not changing at all, just stay. Not there will be a grow up, no, just stay like a little bit, a little part of Ida Sangyang Widiwasa itself. And for the that's for the explanation of Sanatana. Okay, uh, I will continue for the Avyakta. Avyakta is unreborn. Yes, for the 10 characteristic of Atman, which is Avyakta, unreborn, because the principle is not like human. Human can be born and die. No, for Atman, it's not like that way. Just like the characteristic of Atman can't be reborn. It's not reborn like what like human did. And then that's the explanation of the Avyakta. That's all the this section explanation, which is the characteristic, the 10 characteristic also for the definition. Alright, Chodya, Adanya, Kledia, Chesya, Nitya, Sarvagata, Stanu, Achala, Sanatana, and Avyakta, and also for their definition as well. Let's move forward to the remains of the characteristic of Atman, which is Achintya and Avikara. For the 11 characteristics, for the number 11, the characteristic of Atman, Achintya, can be think. Yes. Let me just give you one example. If you try to think about think the Ida Sangyang Widiwasa, what do you think in your mind? Can be thing, right? That happened. That also happened the same with the Atman. Because if you think what Atman really is, you can't be think what is really is, what the form of Atman, what is the gender of Atman. No, you can't, because that is the characteristic of Atman, can't be think. Okay, that's for the 11. It's not too long explanation because the characteristic, the definition of the characteristic, it's not too long. And for the last one, Avikara, it's not changed and perfect, no male or even female. Or in other words, it doesn't have a gender, just neutral, like one part, one piece of the Ida Sangyang Widiwasa. Okay, not change it. Yes, it's true. Not change into male or even female, because it's no gender at all. It's perfect. Okay, that's all that I can explain, deliver to all of you here about the characteristic of Atman, the brief approaches about the definition of percaya dengan adanya Tuhan, which is in English we can call it the belief in Atman. Okay, that's all my material for today's lesson. Start from the brief approaches that I mentioned earlier. I hope you get it, the point. I hope you understand what is the meaning of the belief in Atman, and also for the characteristic of Atman, which is the 12th characteristic, as well as the definition of each of them. Okay, I think that's all for me. I think there's no more that I can explain it to you, because I opened this lesson with penganjali umat, and I will close this lesson with Paramasanti. Om Santi 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 Om. See you everyone, and have a good day.